Attention, approaching restricted area. Please scan credentials. Nerd credentials verified. Welcome to Area Nerdy 1. Please leave all lightsabers in off mode. All Pokémon must be accompanied by their trainer while in the facility. Please remember, Area Nerdy 1 is a joint containment facility with SCP, SHIELD, BPRD, and Star Labs. All time travelers and portal jumpers must check in with security. And please remember to stay nerdy at all times.
Welcome to Area Nerdy 1. I am, of course, Jimmy.
I'm Jarrett. You said your name is Jimmy?
That's right. Yes, that's right. It's me.
It's been so long.
It's been millennia. We've been in cryostasis for so long.
The mole people in the basement just kept trying to come up, and we just couldn't allow that, so we had to take some time off. Of course, for the holidays. Yay!
Yeah.
And nothing happened while we were gone.
Yeah. I mean, they actually cleaned up the place a little bit.
My coffee machine that I notoriously tried to eat was actually clean for once. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So, well, here we are.
Yes.
As you can see, new digs, new look, new theme song.
Same people.
Same people. We're drinking pretty much the same beer as last time, but
yeah. But we have a new design, a new intro, all designed by our fabulous intern, Jimmy.
Of course. So, yeah, we got everything new. We got a new format, so you guys can watch us live here and watch us on YouTube. And then I'm going to edit this down, take this clay and turn it into a masterpiece, put it out into podcast form so you guys can listen to it at your leisure whenever you want.
Yes.
So
please, once we will link all that information down below. And give us a like on that and a follow to stay in touch, because not everyone can watch it live, but you can always pop on a podcast.
That's right. So now we got a little bit different format. We're going to be doing this monthly. Like at the end of the month, we're going to recap. And honestly, this month has been wild. It's been some wild shit going on in the nerd news. Like as soon as right after, I was like, okay, we're going to make this podcast monthly. We're going to just do stuff at the end of the month.
And then weekly.
Wizard of the Coast. Freaking, we know what?
We're going to go into
it. But like right after it, the Wizards of the Coast dropped their shit. Yeah.
We were, because we were thinking every week was a lot. We could go over quite a bit, but
we ended up kind of retreading old ground.
A lot, yeah. And there was also this February reminded me of when we tried to do HP Lovecraft month.
Oh boy, howdy!
That was rough.
HP Lovecraft for a straight up month it's dark.
It's dark.
It was a dark time.
And that one episode was enough. But now we are going to be doing this monthly, but that means we got a lot to get into. So let's just dive on in. What do you say?
Okay, yep. So, well, first things first, since I mentioned it, big thing that happened in the nerdosphere, we're going over the news, by the way. Big thing that happened in the nerdosphere was Wizards of the Coast they dropped the ball. Okay, let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Yes.
So now I haven't 100% gotten into the legal terms of this stuff because it's pretty dense. But the gist of it is that Dungeons & Dragons operates with an open gaming license. So creators can create their own games and products and content and put it up on Dungeons & Dragons website.
Right, but mainly what they were using that for was the format and the build styles and the campaigns. So, we all know what Dungeons & Dragons is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, what they did is anybody could use that format of character building, character creation, and character progression in any of their games. You might have heard of one, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
Is actually formatted from Wizards of the Coast D&D format.
Mm-hmm.
So that open license was open to them.
And then people like Critical Role could create their own content, market it,
yes.
Using basically Dungeons & Dragons format.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards of the Coast, basically, there was a leak that they were thinking about possibly changing their gaming license so that at some point the creators, if they made a certain amount of money, would have to start paying royalties to Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast.
And
yes.
the fan base instantly lashed back.
Yes. So just so you guys know, apparently what was going on at Wizards of the Coast, they have a lot of stuff going on, right? Their main money makers are Magic the Gathering and D&D. However, D&D was basically allowed to just go run amok, basically do whatever kind of it wanted, and then the executives kind of got a little bit more control over D&D and let loose of this proposal, and now they're kind of being reeled in by the main company. One thing we do need to Hasbro. Yes, Hasbro really dropped the ball on that one. One of the things that we have to realize is that the Wizards of this legal document would allow certain protections for people as well. Like if you're running a regular campaign from your home, you're pretty much fine. You're just doing your own campaign. But if you want to monetize that at all, like put it up on a stream or something, then that's where you come into legal issues.
Exactly. So basically, they it got leaked. Everyone caught wind, said no fucking way. They backed off on it, but I don't think we've seen the last of them. I think that dragon has gone off to its cave, but it's plotting revenge.
They rolled for initiative and they got a 2.
Well, they tried to make that joke. They're like, we rolled on that one on that. So, no, you don't get to make that joke anymore.
What poor timing.
I know. So
who's in charge of their Twitter?
I don't even say his name.
What an asshole. But yeah, Wizards of the Coast basically has obviously a lot of Critical Role and Vox Machina, I should say, are based on D&D, and D&D is very popular still, but this left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Apparently the migration from D&D to Pathfinder has been swift and robust.
Absolutely, I understand that.
So
people want to have fun. They don't want to have to worry about the next legal issue to come through on your campaign.
Speaking of legal issues, this has been a wild month. Okay, a lot of downers, but we're going to try to keep it up. Okay, so Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty, wildly popular show, no longer on the show for various reasons. He was accused of certain unsavory things, which we're not going to get into because of legal reasons. Yes. But they pretty much dropped him from that show instantly.
Well, they didn't just drop him from Rick and Morty. Solar Opposites, Koala Man, which nobody asked for, but for some reason we got.
Yeah.
Everything basically, and the game. What was it? The game with the gun.
I don't remember what it's called. Jeez, yeah. So let's take a look here. But
that was actually dropped in sales and activity as well due to these allegations. And there was also a lot of people began to kind of, I think, and rightly begin to scrutinize Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites for its content as well.
Is it Trevor Saves the Universe?
I guess so.
Or High on Life.
High on Life.
High on Life. That's it.
High on Life. That's the one.
Yeah, with the gun talks with the Rick and Morty voice.
But you want to know something interesting?
What?
Is Rick and Morty won't change that much because Justin Roiland wasn't in the writing room for most of Rick and Morty at all. He was just the voice. He was the co-creator. He was the voice of Mr. Rick and Mr. Morty, but that was about it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's like 99.9% Dan Harmon and his crew.
Which is so weird because I just watched the entirety of season 6. I didn't laugh once. I didn't think it was funny at all.
Yeah.
It was really disappointing.
Yeah, so basically what I've come to see is like, okay, so there's Community, and then there's Solar Opposites, and then Rick and Morty was like in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Oh yeah.
So like Solar Opposites was like all Justin Roiland.
It was just violence and the things they don't think they could get away with Rick Sanchez doing.
Right. So basically, Justin Roiland's off the team. Changes nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
My girlfriend watched one episode of Rick and Morty with me, and it was the fortune cookie episode.
Yeah.
And she's just like, the entire time, she's like, what the fuck is this? I had no idea. I couldn't give her a straight answer. I had no idea what that was.
You didn't start her off with the first episode.
No, because I was trying to get through season 6.
Okay.
I wanted to try it, and by that, even before that episode, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
This is like homework.
Mhm.
This is homework. The show.
Yeah, exactly. So
But I'm not. But if you liked Rick and Morty, it's not gonna change.
okay, so you know what? Let's go to some good news. Okay,
Yes.
Tekken 8 just got a release trailer. It's got a it looks flawless. It looks amazing.
Mhm.
I'm a big fighting game fan. The problem is none of my friends are.
Fighting games had their niche a long time ago. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was going through high school, the biggest thing was the Mortal Kombat because the PlayStation, like, what was the PlayStation game console?
There's like the PlayStation Pocket or something.
Yeah,
right?
the PlayStation, yeah, the PS5 or something. No, yeah, the PlayStation
Yeah.
Pocket or something. Those were the biggest deals.
Yeah.
Fighting games are really linear, you know?
Yeah, but I like them. I like going through. I like Injustice. I like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently, yeah, some people get bored by it. But I guess Smash Bros is the only one that people will continue to play.
Well, it's got so much tournament stuff.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Tekken is that's definitely a classic beloved by many, but I'd say it's probably not in level of popularity as, say, like Street Fighter or even Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter is definitely much more of a tournament game.
Yeah, I think they all have their own little niches.
Yeah.
Tekken's kind of interesting. I always like them for their stories, but it's like the most simple games ever. It's a linear platform
Yep.
where you just fight somebody, and they have like this massive lore.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the thing. They can backfill so much lore with it.
get this.
Mhm.
Hold on to your pants, but
Okay.
take off your socks because I'm gonna just blow them off. Are you ready for this?
Okay, let's hear it.
Just Dance has lore.
Really?
Did you know that?
Wait, what? Like, what's even the story though?
Like, they're the characters that you dance with.
Yeah.
Those are actual characters. They pop in behind each other. They have kids, and the kids grow up in the next games.
So
like
wait.
there's portal walkers and stuff.
So so Rasputin guy has a backstory and character development.
Yeah.
Huh.
Everything.
I think that that's the next rabbit hole that I'm willing to fall down. Okay.
That's the next Netflix series.
That's right. Okay, so let's move on to a couple things released this month.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, Avatar 2 came out.
Mhm.
It's according to reports, it's made that $2 billion.
Well, I wanted so desperately for it to fail, but it didn't. Yeah. So I think because of the internet age we live in, information is developed very quickly and
Mhm.
people get over things very quickly. Everyone loved Avatar, the first one when it came out, and then steadily we kind of realized it was a very meh movie
Mhm.
with some really problematic things, and the only thing that we really liked from it was how realistic it was and
Yeah.
how good the effects were. That was like, 10 years down the line
Yeah.
of development. Same thing with this. Everyone really loved it. Everyone said it was a great movie, great special effects, excellent. Over the months, I saw that score go down a little bit, and the reviews becoming, it looks really good, but the story is still very much lacking.
Yeah, so apparently it's an improvement over the last one.
Yes.
Not a huge hurdle to clear. It's apparently a feast for the eyes. So I would say some movies you just go see because they look awesome in the movie theater. This would be one of them. So apparently it has made that $2 billion. So James Cameron,
Yes.
you've done it again.
Well, technically, the budget for this movie was for this movie and the next movie and a little bit of the third.
Mhm.
So he made his budget back for the next movies. This is all profit after that.
Nice. Jeez, good for him.
Yeah, James Cameron, attaboy.
Jeez, we're freaking paying for his hot tubs at his.
His next deep sea expedition.
That's right.
Sea
okay.
Lab.
Okay, so another thing that got released that's garnering a lot of attention is, of course, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes.
Which, okay, so we're not gonna stay too much on this subject because, okay, I looked it up just to see, what the reviews are. So you go over to IGN and it's a glowing review. This person's like, it's the Hogwarts game I was waiting for. Go over to Wired and they're like, it's meh. The graphics are pretty meh, and it's got tons of plot holes. So, and that's really kind of the pattern I saw. A lot of people really liked it, but then like whenever someone actually had anything to say about it, technically it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So, basically, what I'm getting is that you're really gonna like this game if you're a big Hogwarts fan.
Right.
So, me personally, if I could set the transphobia aside, which I can't.
We are allies here at Area Nerdy 1.
if I could set it aside, which I can't,
Mm-hmm.
I still wouldn't get this game because I'm not a huge Potterhead. It's just
Right.
I used to be. You remember?
He used to get pulled aside at the library, like, for looking like Harry Potter. He got invited to a Harry Potter like event at our library because he had glasses, and that was it.
That was what's the qualifying? What's the qualifier? I've got glasses.
So one of the big things was that it was kind of, you know, touted as a big customization game. Every game is, right, but that is highly limited as well. As you said, the storyline and everything, all the character development is filled with plot holes. The actual story itself is problematic just in its own, which I found very strange. Nobody, I did not think anybody was going to actually have this as a good idea. Like, this was not a good idea at all.
Yeah.
There is some also problematic imagery in there as well, and of course, the connection with J.K. Rowling. So I'm not gonna play it. But
Also, I've got one rule in life.
Yeah.
One rule, Jarrett. Never spend more than $30 on a video game because
Well,
it's gonna go down in price. It's just gonna
go down in price, unless it's Call of Duty.
Unless it's Call of Duty, yeah.
It'll never go down in price.
But we don't talk about Call of Duty.
Well, the really interesting thing is because I'm an idiot and I just like the stupidest things. Okay. So as we know what inflation is, as things get more expensive, the price inflates.
One second, bring that mic a little closer to your face as you're talking. There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
So everyone can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things is that video games have stayed at a pretty consistent price of $60 for the past like 15 years.
Yeah.
Beating inflation.
So, geez. So really, if you want to invest in something solid, invest in video games.
Yes, but now they're boosting it up to $70 a game. They used to be like the Arizona tees.
If it's $30 or $40 more than what I'm going to pay for it, I'm still not paying for it.
No.
Okay. And one last thing about one thing I noticed about Harry Potter, the fandom, is despite all the controversy, it remains to be one of the less toxic fandoms that I've ever interacted with. Like, as a group, they all kind of got together and were like, no, that behavior, it's not okay. Like any other fandom, like even Star Wars, it's like, okay, you really shouldn't be getting that message from it. But the Harry Potter fandom, they as a group were like, no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
We are accepting here.
I also found that Harry Potter fans are very ready to accept and talk about the flaws in the lore.
Yeah.
Like just how there's like in all of Europe there are 3 schools for wizarding.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, so like every other fandom, us included, will argue for days about it, defending the inconsistencies. They just roll with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're off Legacy. So got a couple other things. Oh, the other reason that I won't buy Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy is because it doesn't hold a candle to the OG. Now you can't see what's on my screen right now, but it's that CD-ROM game of the Sorcerer's Stone.
I've looked for that everywhere. I've looked on Steam. I've just looked on EA's website. Nothing.
I have a feeling that if I played that again, it would be my ultimate comfort game.
Do you remember how stressful it was when the little gnomes were chasing you around and they got your magic beans?
They got the beans?
They got the beans?
Children of this generation will never know the stress of not getting every Birdie Bots, every flavored beans in a level.
And then you can and then you got to go get the frog, and then,
So,
damn.
yeah, we played the CD-ROM on our parents' 2003 Windows, and I don't know if
big box motherfucker. The thing was huge.
I didn't know you could wear out a CD-ROM, but we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so
and also we got the Aladdin game.
Yeah. He has a sword in that one. But we digress.
This show is about digressing.
Yeah, so we tend to so let's see. One last thing in the news from the nerdosphere.
Yes.
Is so the California branch of Medieval Times actors have recently gone on strike. So 50 actors and stable hands have gone on strike.
Yes.
Trying to protesting lack of good wages. They were trying to push for better health care because they were saying, hey, we're making like $20-$25 an hour.
Yes.
But we're throwing ourselves off of horses. We could go over to In-N-Out Burger and work there for $25 an hour.
So like it was a high risk work in general. Like we said, it's with horses. It's doing equestrian work and acting and things like that. But the knights were making on average like going out on the horses, hitting each other, bringing a lot of their own equipment, are making $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's this stigma where if you're almost a non-professional actor or actress, you shouldn't be paid that much. No, these people are dedicated to their art, and they're doing this nightly.
Yeah.
And they're making less than $20 an hour, and they're around all this dust and stuff. It's not good for them.
Yeah, so they were trying to get for better medical coverage and better pay.
Right.
And so they're on strike. The Medieval Times has brought in scab actors at this point. So
well, we don't like to use the word scabs because people do need to get paid and you do need to work.
So they brought in actors from another location to basically fill in the gap there.
Yeah,
and ignore the issue at this point.
So on February 13th, the restaurant decided to unionize, and the management quickly became extraordinarily hostile, and they basically went on strike right then and there.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yep.
We support our unions.
Yep. So we're getting political in this season.
Yeah, we are.
We try.
Which is really weird because we're not allowed to unionize at Area Nerdy 1.
That's because there's 2 of us. Who are we gonna unionize against?
You.
Each other?
Yeah. Union forever.
I'm gonna bust this union. So, okay, so yeah, Medieval Times. So if you want to support them, you can check out. They've got a group. It's called Medieval Times Performers United. I found them through TikTok. They are covering this entire process as it unfolds. So check them out. Check them out online if you want to support.
Which is I was thinking about this while I was getting ready for this podcast. I was thinking, oh, okay, I have something's clicking here, and it was so weird. So in medieval times, workers' like rights and power got uplifted in the medieval times because their labor became more valuable after the plague, right?
Right. I think.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there was less workers to tend the fields, and thus more workers gained more rights because they were more valuable. They were the only ones that could do it.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so now these workers are highly valuable right now because not many people are willing to do this job and are skilled to do this job in this medieval times, atmosphere. So these people have extraordinary power, and it's just after the plague too.
Wow. History rhymes.
History rhymes. But yes, kings. They are all kings and queens in our eyes, and we support them.
And that's the Buena Park in California location.
Yes,
so
and they
check
have
them
a
out.
badass logo too.
Yeah. Look at this. You can't see it. I've got it up here.
I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, they do have a badass logo. Okay. So moving on. So
Yes.
we are gonna do a deep dive because the big thing that happened in the nerdy news this month was one of the big things. Was that James Gunn and Peter Safran announced the new slate of DC projects that are coming up for the DC cinematic universe,
Yes.
such as it is. It's a lot of shakeups going on.
Yeah, we have to. It's kind of interesting because the DC EU doesn't really exist right now. It is really all over the place, and we don't really know who's in it, what's going on, what's canon. Is Justice League canon? Because Ben Affleck is kind of coming back for Batman, apparently. Gal Gadot is maybe not coming back. Ezra Miller, they're not coming back. And, of course, Kal-El will not be the lovely man.
Well,
who he is.
okay. So I was going to save this for the last thing, but to answer all of your many questions,
Yes.
I think the first thing that we've got to talk about is the upcoming Flash movie, which also other big news just dropped its trailer this past week.
Yes.
So the Flash, I got his poster up here. So starring Ezra Miller, they them. So Ezra has had some issues to say the least. So they are apparently working on it. Like you said, they are. According to James Gunn and Peter Safran, they have had talks with Ezra about getting they're currently working through their mental issues, and then down the road they say they're going to talk about it. Whether that plays out is another thing, but it's definitely in the cards that Ezra Miller is going to return as the Flash. Now, you may notice that this episode is called Area Nerdy 1 Flashpoint. Why is it called Area Nerdy 1 Flashpoint, Jarrett?
Why is this episode called Area Nerdy 1 Flashpoint?
Because this whole movie is going to be a Flashpoint event. In the comics, the Flashpoint event is, spoiler alert for the movie and comic books, by the way, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert is Flash goes back in time, steps on a butterfly or some shit, and then the universe is nannersed up. So basically that's how you get, instead of Bruce Wayne as Batman, Thomas Wayne as Batman, and he uses guns.
So he basically just sounds the thunders himself.
Yeah, he Sound of Thunders himself, and then shit ensues, stuff happens, he puts it right, but it's like different. And so this is one of the events that DC used to redirect and revamp their comic book lines.
Yeah.
It led to the New 52. And so that's what's going to happen here. So basically, I've got Ezra Miller's picture up now. So Ezra Miller is going to go back in time and do something, and that's going to multiverse of madness this shit and make it so that they can basically much more smoothly transition to other actors and other projects, because it can be like, okay, that time, like you say, is Justice League canon. Now it is canon, but they don't have to follow it.
Yeah. So I watched the trailer, and I watched another trailer as well.
Yeah.
So the trailer I watched and I was not excited for was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah.
A lot of green screen. It didn't look good to me. And I was like, and I really felt like everyone says, they're tired of superheroes movies. I like superhero movies.
Yeah, I
don't
like
mind.
'em.
I like them. So I was like,
That's why we're here.
yeah, that's why we're here. So I was looking at it and I was like, I don't want to watch this. And I was thinking to myself, I want a good superhero movie that I think will be visually interesting, but isn't this visual throw up.
Yeah.
Not that looks bad, but it's like Doctor Strange. A lot of like interesting things to look at, but it's all green screen. It's over. There's not a lot of interesting content, I feel like. But then I watched the Flashpoint, and whatever I think about Ezra Miller and what their antics are, this movie looks visually interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's shot interesting. The lighting is very interesting. It visually it's darker, so your imagination has to do a little bit more of the work. I think this will kind of revamp my interest in superhero movies because I got fatigued a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm putting up Batfleck here. So yeah. So there is. I got an image up here. So Batfleck is definitely in this movie. He's rolling around on a motorcycle that has 2 or 3 or possibly 4 wheels, which makes it not quite a motorcycle.
It's not a motorcycle at all.
I actually looked it up because they with every Batmobile they got to make it look cool, different, and this is what they're doing, the 2-wheel design. There are some motorcycles that have like a 4-wheel or a 2 front wheel directly side by side design, but they were kind of popular as concept bikes in the early 2000s, but none of them took off.
Yeah.
So complete aside there for no reason whatsoever. So, but yeah, to answer your, so I'm getting very much vibes of No Way Home with this because we have both we've got Keaton's Batman coming back.
Yes.
We've got General Zod coming back, who I've got here. Michael Shannon as General Zod because, of course, for 10 years, us Man of Steel fans have been asking them for General Zod specifically.
Yes.
Definitely not anyone else, just General Zod.
Only Zod.
Only Zod. That's all we want to see. So, yeah, they're doing a multiverse of madness and to kind of like sort of split the storyline, split the timeline, right?
I think it's going to be like Multiverse of Madness, but good.
And it's Multiverse of Madness meets Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right. But the thing that DC needs to do is not be Marvel. They need to stop doing the Marvel thing and do and start creating structures and characters that we want to see that isn't just, Captain America or Tony Stark.
Like, I didn't realize this, low-key, I'm actually kind of psyched to see Keaton back as Batman.
Yes.
Because it looks like they actually make him fight good in this movie.
Really?
Like he's like, I don't know if you saw it, but there's like a part in the trailer where he swoops down and takes out people's legs and is actually fighting and is much more acrobatic. Yeah. Versus if you watch the Tim Burton Batmans, he cannot even turn his head at all. Yeah. And the fight scenes are obviously very lackluster because of it.
The cowl.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like they make him actually fight in this movie.
Good. I'm excited. I think this is going to be one of the ones I'm going to see in theaters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see here. So one of the things that made me think like, okay, so why they might, even though they're changing things up, why would they consider keeping on Ezra Miller despite their antics and their problems is because of how pivotal this movie is going to be for the universe. It's going to actually pivot the universe.
Yeah.
And there's apparently 2 Ezras. There's double the Ezra in this movie. So he goes back in time or forward, whatever. In this alternate universe, he meets another another Ezra.
Yeah.
So they're like, we paid for 2 Ezras. We got to bring Ezra back again.
We got our money's worth.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do like a reverse Flash.
I don't know. They might do a reverse Flash. Maybe that's how they get reverse Flash.
Well, in I think it was the animated Flashpoint. That's what happens is that he's following reverse Flash through the timelines.
One rumor that's going around is that Grant Gustin of the CW Flash is either going to be in and or replace Ezra as the Flash.
He's good. I don't think he has the acting chops of Ezra Miller.
I mean, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him outside of a CW show yet, though.
That is fair.
I mean,
once you have like something that is workable.
Yeah, it's different when, when you're calling an actor to do a movie where for 6 months you're just focused on that movie versus you've got to show up every single day for 8 to 12 hours a day for almost a year to get these TV shows made.
Yeah, it's like Riverdale.
Yeah, you gotta leave something at the door, honestly.
Yeah, let's be fair. Once you're out of the CW, you can actually do some real work.
Right. Quick question, Jarrett.
Yes.
Who do you got? Batfleck or Keaton Batman going head to head?
My favorite Batman is Ben Affleck because that boy was buff.
He worked.
He worked at it. He punched a guy so hard he went to the ground. He went through the ground.
Oh yeah, he just like
bam.
Oh God, have you seen the stunt coordinators like version of that whole thing?
No, but I know that they put in the work.
Oh yeah. Something like the previs is what it's called, where basically, just the stunt guys in like their gym shorts and stuff, they're basically doing the camera work to see how the fight scene works, but it always ends up so much more better cut and much more agile than the scene to begin with.
Absolutely. Because these guys are professionals, but that's obviously the Doomsday plot could have been cut from that movie, but you cannot deny that Ben Affleck as Batman was phenomenal and he could do the work.
Yeah, that's the one thing that people actually agreed with and enjoyed about the Snyderverse is that the casting was chef kiss.
Perfect.
So
it just needed to stop doing the whole Jesus imagery and needed to not just focus on Batman and Superman. Yeah, and that's it.
So basically, yeah. So Flash is coming out. We're probably gonna see it. Ezra Miller may or may not be returning as a Flash. We'll have to see how they are able to handle things, and hopefully they get better. We do definitely wish they get better.
Yes.
But considering their actions, their apology tour is gonna have to be immaculate.
Or the movie just has to be really good.
Yeah.
And we'll just forget about it.
I don't know.
Because...
Like he did. Like he's gonna have. Terribly sorry. They're gonna have to go to every single person in Hawaii and be like, "Hey, sorry for freaking you out. Would you please give me a franchise?"
The storm's coming. Like, oh, Ezra's coming back. But here's the thing: you have to, when you're asking yourself who's coming back, you have to ask yourself, is Black Adam coming back? Because that movie was middling at best, and the antics of The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson.
I don't know if they're going to want to work with, because James Gunn and Safran and Peter Safran seem to have a very specific vision for it. Mm-hmm. And if rumors are to be believed, and it was The Rock's ego that caused all of this, this dust up and, for things to go awry, they might not want that drama going on. No. If they're gonna bring back a Superman, they may bring on a do a Marvel thing where they take an actor who is known, but this is going to be their star vehicle that really shoots them to the top.
Yeah.
If they're in a movie with The Rock and they can't win a fight, what are they going to do?
Right. I mean, I watched Black Adam and the extra Dr. Fate, Adam, and Lady Hawk.
Hawkwoman.
Hawkwoman. I don't know why.
Lady Hawk.
Lady Hawk. And her husband, the Bee Man. They were all very interesting.
Yeah.
They're all good characters. I do believe it was The Rock's ego that got in the way. If you read a lot of his antics during Fast and the Furious and other vehicles, it's very clear that he has an image in these movies and that he cannot lose that image. So there's limits you can put him in a big fight. You know? Like him and Vin Diesel in their contract say they cannot get knocked out by each other, and they have to have an equal amount of hits.
Right. Okay.
Like that's like a thing.
Yeah. So like, what happens when you put it into a superhero movie context where somebody's got to get punched?
And someone's got to win.
Yeah. Somebody's got to. Yeah. It's got. Say, unless they go like really think piece about it, which I don't know if they will.
Well, I mean, they could do the thing where, everyone's scared of Black Adam. He's beating the shit out of people, and then he runs into Superman, and Superman's like, okay, you're done.
Yeah, or like he just can't even land a blow against Superman.
Yeah, but you know who will win
Who?
against Superman? Billy Batson, Shazam.
Yeah.
Because he understands that one of Superman's weaknesses is magic.
Mm-hmm.
And in the comic books, what he did to control Superman was he gave him a bear hug from behind and said Shazam, and it struck him with the magic lightning.
Yeah.
Like
that was in the animated version too.
Yeah.
But then Superman pulled a reversal and like Shazam, so Shazam got Shazam back into Billy Batson. He's like, okay, no more of that.
Yeah. So I think that's what we get. What that would have been really cool is that like as Shazam develops, he started to use his mind and like playing on like people's egos and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like he's gonna be in his 20s by the time the next Shazam shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
Next Shazam movie.
So like Black Adam is like this brawler, but he's like good at fighting, but he's not good at like long-term strategy.
Right. Okay, so we are at about the halfway point here, actually a little bit over. So let's take a quick coffee break, shall we? At where, Jarrett? Where are we taking a coffee break?
Big Nerd Coffee Company. If you're like me, I like to wake up with a little cup of brew.
A little cup. I'm like,
no, it's actually gonna be a big cup. Yeah. I use like the plastic like refillable K cups because I get the fresh ground coffee.
Yeah.
And then I'll use it once, and then I'm done with that cup. I'll use the same one again. It's still pretty. It's because I get it nice and dark, so
right?
It's good every time. People look at me like I'm psycho, but that's 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah, I use a French press, and honestly, just about the scoop that you would use for a K cup, for a cup of coffee.
Perfect.
Like I like
Delicious.
I like dark coffee. I like it so you can chew on it.
Oh yeah, I like to. I get the like when I got the elder bean.
Yeah,
that was a black coffee. I poured it. I let go of it, and it stood there.
it just retained the container's shape for a hot second.
Exactly.
Not a lot, just enough for you to register that it was there, and it was gone.
But they are going to be having some specials soon. Specialty specials.
Special, like what's special about these specialties?
Well, you're gonna have to go there and find out. They might be cryptic,
cryptidic,
crypto. Not crypto, cryptid.
Yeah.
Monthly cryptid coffees are going to be at Big Nerd Coffee Company. So, I'm going to be there as soon as Mothman month.
I'm more of a Dark Watchers guy myself. Dark Watchers coffee. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
I would say a light coffee for the Mothman is lamp. It's just that's the thing. It's just lamp.
Mothman and lamp.
Lamp.
All right, well, check it out. Big Nerd Coffee Company in Elmira, New York. Check them out and join the fight against corporate coffee today.
Yes, and of course, support your local nerds everywhere you go.
Okay, so now we're back into Area Nerdy 1 mode.
Yes.
Okay,
we're back in the bunker.
So we got a lot to go over still. So we're gonna breeze past basically what the next DC projects are gonna be.
Yes.
So first of all, there's Superman Legacy, which is a Superman vehicle, obviously.
Right.
The only thing we know about it is Henry Cavill's 99.9% almost not sure not going to be Superman again.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. So Superman Legacy, it's basically going to be Superman, I want to say mid-career. The only thing we know, like James Gunn's being very coy about it. People are trying to guess the age of Superman, but it's looking like it's probably going to be like mid-30s.
Yeah.
Which isn't that old. So mid-30s. And it's going to be Batman's going to be there too. So basically James Gunn is looking for someone who's going to be a little bit older for Batman. And it's basically, it looks like Superman's going to be dealing with, his Kryptonian legacy and stuff like that. So that's all we really know about it. Don't really know anything else. Tried to think who would be a better Superman than Henry Cavill, and I really can't. Like, I understand in a certain sense. I understand why they did this. It has been 10 years since they have had a Superman movie, but who else in Hollywood? Who else?
So
Jarrett?
I feel like he didn't have great stuff to work with. because nobody really knows how to write a Superman
Yeah.
anymore. He's the Boy Scout with a cape. You know, I think he did well with the material he was given, but no one just has that impeccable charm, the Superman look like Henry Cavill.
Yeah, well, maybe Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Superman and Lois and Clark.
I think he has a lot more material to work with, and he knows how to use it.
Yeah.
And he does a very good job.
Oh yeah, one thing that Tyler Hoechlin has a little bit more than Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill definitely has. For Superman, he's got, like, what I look for in a Superman actor, they got to have both the physical quality and presence that if a little kid was like, needed help, they would feel comfortable walking up to Superman being like, hey, can you help me find my cat or something?
Yeah.
Like, he looks and acts like a guy who is approachable and nice. Like, so like someone who's in trouble would trust him.
Yeah.
Basically. Like that guy on TikTok who's like, the EMT like slid right up to me and was like, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so Tyler, so that's.
I bet that, like, if we were watching a ton of movies, we might be able to come across somebody.
Yeah.
But he has to because there's so many aspects of Superman that we don't really think of, because there has to be that vulnerability and that ability to be like, okay, where does Superman end and Clark Kent begin, and where does Jor-El begin as well? Because there's like 3 identities in there.
The one thing that's oh God, what's his name? The original Superman. Jeez, I know all these people by heart.
Something Reeves.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves.
Jeez, take away my nerd card. God. Okay, so Christopher Reeves. One thing that he did amazingly was that he like, you see it in a scene where Lois shoots him to see if he's actually Superman, and he instantly becomes Superman.
Yeah.
Like, he instantly drops the Clark Kent act. Like, I didn't realize how slouched I was just there, but
exactly.
Yeah, he just like instantly like he goes from Clark to Superman physically.
Yeah. That was the thing I didn't like about Henry Cavill, is the difference between Clark Kent and Superman is literally just the glasses.
Yeah.
Because when you watch Christopher Reeves' Superman, Clark Kent acts like Clark Kent. No one's like, this dude's not Superman.
Right.
Which is actually kind of weird, because have you ever seen a picture of Zooey Deschanel without bangs?
Dude, you're talking to okay, I'm like really driving home the whole Superman thing right now.
Yeah.
But like, people literally do not recognize me if I'm not wearing my glasses.
Exactly.
Like, let's give it where'd Jimmy go?
How'd you get in here?
That's right.
We have clearance. Oh, Jimmy.
That's right.
Someone was here.
So yeah, like, people will literally like not recognize me at first glance when I don't have my glasses on. So it's definitely possible.
One thing I find interesting is, like, when we talk about human recognition, we part our hairs in a very like specific way, because if we're right-handed, left-handed. If you part your hair differently, people will not recognize you. One thing you will realize in the Christopher Reeves movies, Superman parts his hair like a right-handed man, left to right.
Yeah.
Clark Kent parts his hair like a left-handed man, right to left.
God, those movies are goofy as hell, but they did their homework.
They did their fucking homework, except for the one where the Trying for Peace, where there's like that clone's
yep, the clone Bizarro / Fabio Superman, with the bag lady claws, yeah.
And then he scratches the back of his neck, and he gets like a cold for a week. He's just like, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yep. Oh God. Yeah. So that definitely not the best version.
No.
But yeah. So Christopher Reeves definitely had that. One thing that is going to be coming out is Supergirl, played by Sasha Kaye. She's actually going to be in the Flash movie as well.
Yes. People were saying, she's not blonde, and I was like, but she's a really good actress.
I cannot even muster the energy to pretend I gave a shit whether or not Supergirl was blonde or not before this. Okay.
Not even an iota?
I cannot, not even an iota of effort could be spent by me pretending that I ever actually registered that fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, but yeah. So Sasha Kaye, she's been in, like, I think, The Young and the Restless. So this is probably going to be, like I said, they're actors who are established and who have the chops, but this is going to be their star vehicle.
Yeah. So watching the trailer and looking at, like, the lineup and stuff, I think Warner Brothers, HBO, and, like, DC in general, we're just like, okay, we're not done fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, we're done. We're gonna actually do the work.
Yeah. We that first time we had our shot. So yeah, that's what this whole Flash thing is. They're gonna revamp They're gonna give actresses like Sasha Calle like a star vehicle to like really take off, and so I think we're gonna. I want to say we're gonna see like the next crop of like, Robert Downey Jr. was famous before this, but after Iron Man, he became a household name for like until now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna happen. All right, moving on. Another one is gonna be the other one that's gonna be coming up is Batman: The Brave and the Bold, which is not the Batman 2. It is Batman: The Brave and the Bold. So there's going to be Batman, obviously, and there's going to be Damian Wayne, his son. So, and that's all. That's all we know. Yeah, that's all we know.
I was so excited. I saw there was another Batman movie coming out, and I was like, oh, Jimmy, it's gonna be Batman Beyond. Yeah, it's gonna be Batman Beyond. It's gonna be Batman Beyond.
I hope so. Well, so in the New 52, they called it New 52 because it was 52 comic lines. And one of them was Batman Beyond. So I think that we might get a live-action Batman Beyond, at least a TV show.
I think a live-action version of Blight would be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be gnarly.
But then again, like, the Warner Bros. Has been pulling some shit because they shelved the Batgirl movie. So let's watch out for that shit.
I think people are, like, overhyping that. It's Warner Brothers. Like, if they even released it, I'm pretty sure people would be like,
meh.
Yeah. Not that these people didn't do good jobs and the lead actress didn't do a good job, but I don't think they really...
Up till now, they have not put in the legwork.
They have not put in the legwork at all.
All right. So I've been trying to think, again, who's going to be Batman. I have not been able to come up with a Robin at this point because I don't know who the young actors are. But for Batman, I'm saying Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Okay.
I don't know. You can't see his picture up here, but he's in a suit.
I know who Aaron Taylor Johnson is. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I mean, I think Bullet Train would be a good resume builder. But like he's got the action chops.
Yeah, but I think also if you want to go with like Damian Wayne in like,
well, you mean Bruce Wayne?
Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne. Okay.
Yeah, Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne in the comics and in the TV series and a lot of the other media is kind of like a little shit.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Taylor Johnson could bring a little bit of comedy and heart to like Damian Wayne. Like he grew up from that.
No, I'm saying for Batman.
Oh, for Batman?
Yeah. Aaron Taylor Johnson's like in his 30s. He can't be Damian Wayne.
I always pictured by the time Damian Wayne came around, Batman's in like his mid to late 40s.
I mean, it's possible.
Because like, you're gonna do not come at me unless you're correct. Because we already have Robin that turned into Nightwing, Robin that turned into Red Hood, and Robin that is a girl turned into Batgirl. So there's already three Robins that he had mentored and brought up to the point where they're actual like.
He could have had him in his 20s. Like let's say Batman and Talia Ghul got together when they were like in their 20s. By the time Batman's in his mid to late 30s, and Damian Wayne shows up, he's like 12 years old. Yeah.
No.
It's a tight timeline.
Yeah, that is a really tight timeline. I would say Damian Wayne would be Aaron Taylor Johnson and have somebody like an old grizzled Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah, he's not like after seeing Batfleck, who is a freaking unit. It's gonna be hard to go to a smaller dude.
Oh, what about here's it. Retiring Joker's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he would do great at that.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Let's see here. So, also there's a bunch of TV shows coming out. So
just so you know, in the comics, Talia al Ghul and Batman don't produce Damian Wayne the natural way. She like takes his DNA and like inseminates herself.
Yeah, it's very like there's like one little panel where it's like very unclear like what the situation was there, and let's just say DC has a very strange like problem when it comes to that stuff with like especially against males. So I don't want to get into it.
We're not going to get into it
because I don't want to get shadow banned.
But there is
from
like
YouTube,
all that kind of weird shit going on in there.
It's definitely a pattern.
Yeah.
But anyway, the TV shows. Let's start off with first of all, there's going to be a Waller show. So we've got like Waller from the Amanda Waller from the Suicide Squad. I don't know if this is going to be Peacemaker adjacent or involved.
I feel like Amanda Waller was a really good character in the original Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. That idea that this woman is not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
She is the pinnacle of I have the CIA on speed dial and you are forfeit if I if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But then the second Suicide Squad, I feel like they nerfed her quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like if I worked with Amanda Waller, I wouldn't be even swearing around her, let alone hit her with a golf club.
Yeah.
Those people would be gone.
And like, I don't, that movie had its ups and downs. One thing that kind of stuck out to me was that at the very end, Amanda Waller is basically like, okay, I agree to it. You guys are free. She would never have done that.
No. And I'm saying this, like the people that she's working with in the first movie, she straight out murked 3 employees because they didn't have clearance. And then this entire staff gets to stay because after a mini coup. No way.
No, not
Amanda Waller.
Not even close.
I would like to see Amanda Waller be like the bad guy, where she's doing the Suicide Squad thing, but like people are starting to realize, oh, maybe we aren't the good guys.
Yeah, yeah. Though that was kind of what they teased. They played with in the Suicide Squad, but yeah, they didn't really bring it home for Amanda Waller's character herself.
Yeah, Peacemaker is also a good series, but like. I don't know. Amanda Waller has a lot of potential.
Yeah. So we might get more Suicide Squad characters too. So that's always interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next we've got is Creature Commandos, which is basically their version, Frankenstein and supernatural creatures that come together as a team. They're a Suicide Squad, but Halloween themed, basically.
Man-Bat's not in there, is he?
He might be in that one. I'm not certain if Marvel definitely has some very specific, more famous monster characters like Werewolf by Night, Morbius,
straight up Dracula.
Straight up Dracula. They kind of monopolize the monsters as far as characters go. So, but I know that very definitely the DC universe has Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So they got him on lock. This one's probably going to be the one that they trot out at the same time as the next Werewolf by Night to like compete with it.
Yeah.
Or whatever team Werewolf by Night and Man Thing begins.
I would like to see that in the movie, he specifically goes out of his way to be like, I'm not Frankenstein. That's not my name. But people just...
Technically. So, let's say my last name is Johnson, right? I have a child.
Yeah.
That child's last name is
Johnson.
So Victor Frankenstein is maybe not the conventional way,
so,
but is the father
I
of...
would say, let's say you came up to me, Mr. Johnson, you came up to me and said, this is my son, and he's made up of a couple of dead bodies that I stitched together, and it's struck with lightning. I would say, what? Because the last thing I would think is, I hope this kid has his last name.
Okay, so technically, the original Frankenstein, the novel, he does not have a name. He is called like creature, demon, etc.
Yeah.
So whatever, we gotta call him something. We can't just call him the creature. It's too generic.
I would say like the whole point of the movie would be the creature being his own character and going throughout life with all these names and finally coming up with his own name.
Oh, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good character development.
But they keep calling him Mr. Frankenstein. But he's like, that's not my name.
It's Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein.
Are you putting him on?
No. Walk like this.
Do they also call you Frederick?
What? Did they call you Frederick Frankenstein? No, Frederick Frankenstein.
So, okay, the next show that is going to be coming out is, well, first of all, Paradise Lost, which is a Wonder Woman adventure. It either involves Wonder Woman or just takes place in Themyscira.
Are there?
Where the Amazons are from?
The Amazons don't reproduce, right?
That's a thing that's super dark, and I'm not getting into it because we've already lambasted these things enough.
Never mind, because I was like thinking a lot of the Amazons died during, the last movie. I was like, they don't. Never mind.
It's super dark. But I'm not gonna get into it for another time because we don't have time.
Got it.
Okay. Next is the last one that I've got here is Booster Gold. Now you can't see this, but Booster Gold, he's basically gonna be. I'm imagining he's gonna be Tony Stark. He's basically. He's a pretty boy with a suit that gives him powers.
No.
Okay.
He's Justin Hammer with a suit.
If you could see, okay, you can't see this character. I got a picture of Booster Gold from Smallville, the live action version.
Yeah.
And he's got his suit and he's got patches all over it. And you know what reminded me exactly of?
What?
Captain Amazing from
Yes.
Mystery Men, played by Greg Kinnear. So yeah, if he's gonna be Captain Amazing.
But I'm saying Sam Rockwell would be, given some blonde hair, he would be an awesome Booster Gold. Like this guy who's like just an average dude finds his way back in time because of the technology that's just so happens to be around him at the time. He's like a superhero.
Yeah.
But he's just like this dude. Sam Rockwell would be perfect.
Yeah.
That kind of swarmy, like arrogant kind of person.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
But you have to. So, one thing I heard someone talk about was that the reason why Ant-Man works really well is because he's not dealing with end of the world shit.
Yeah.
He's dealing with like very ground level things. I think that's what Booster Gold should be. You want to, like, yeah, Batman, Superman are saving the world every day. But then when the Booster Gold movie comes out, he's just,
yeah,
getting rings run around him by like street hooligans.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Yeah. This will be their answer to things like Daredevil, where they get to show the street level crime.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all they got for the shows. But actually, there's one more. But we're gonna go back in time, Jarrett. We're gonna hop into the Airy Nerdy One time machine for our last segment. Ready? And we're back in time, Jarrett. What year is it? It's 1982. And what does 1982 have in common with this year? Swamp Thing is coming out.
Oh no!
Swamp Thing. Yeah, that's right. The 1982 Swamp Thing.
Wait, you mean Man Thing?
No, Swamp Thing.
Oh, I thought you meant Man Thing. The Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it's
the Swamp Thing from Marvel Universe.
Let's face it, they just copied each other rampantly.
Yeah. So this is Swamp Thing, the Man Thing from DC Universe, and not the Man Thing Swamp Thing from Marvel, right?
You got it.
And it's definitely not Treebeard, the Swamp Thing Man Thing from Lord of the Rings.
No, definitely not. Yeah. Okay, so
I think I got that. And it's not the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Swamp Thing Man Thing from Universal.
No, it's definitely not that.
Gotta think about
and it's definitely not the 2019 Swamp Thing show, which is apparently really good because it's 1982.
Yeah.
It hasn't been invented or thought of yet.
Right.
Okay, so this movie is free available on YouTube. You can watch it at your leisure.
That's the death kiss.
It's rough. So guess who directed this?
James Carpenter.
Close. Wes Craven.
Really?
Yeah, Wes Craven. Like right after The Hills Have Eyes.
He's
Swamp
like,
Thing.
here's like one of the best horror movies ever. I'm gonna make this.
Well, here's the thing. We haven't even gotten into that. So this thing is a horror superhero movie. It's very unscary. It's very campy. It's basically the A-Team
right
meets Toxic Avenger, but without all like the
charm.
It's like a PG Toxic Avenger meets the A-Team.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's a campy good time if you want to like have a popcorn flick, but it's very not scary. It basically Wes Craven was like, I want to show the studios that I can make action movies, and so he did this. Oh, for the 80s, yeah. For now, probably not.
I think. Well, you bring up a good point. I think. And to cycle back to the point I made is that the way DC can differentiate itself from Marvel is make it dark, make it rated R, make it something something that obviously Disney would not do, but make it give somebody $10 million and say, do something.
Yeah.
Come up with something that Marvel wouldn't do, and that's how you differentiate yourself.
What if they just made it? What if they made the new Swamp Thing just like this, with like all the '80s campiness just built in still?
Just like with a wink and a nod to the
audience. So like this has like all the '80s tropes. So like I'm gonna pull a few things up. So it's got.
Can he someone throws a cup into the swamp and he comes out and says, "Hey, yeah, drop this," and throws it back at him and scrolls.
Pretty much. Like, okay, so first of all, it's how like everyone in the '80s like just doesn't look like they belong there. Like these people are like tramping through the swamps, but they're dressed like they're in a Seinfeld episode.
That works.
And like they all kind of look Seinfeld-esque. You can't see this picture. They all kind of look like they're cosplaying Seinfeld.
So what I would love to have happen is if like Swamp Thing does a thing and he accidentally somebody swallows some of his he throws like sludge at somebody and somebody accidentally swallows it, so he has to take him to the hospital and get the shots.
Get Legionnaire's disease treated.
He swallowed the sludge. He's got to get Legionnaires. He's probably swallowed some mosquito larvae, and he's just like standing there with him in like the hospital.
Yep. So this guy. Okay. So this guy. I'm gonna see if I can find the actual Swamp Thing costume. There we are. So yeah, it's very not scary. It's let's see here. It's got like the cheesy dialogue. It's got the bad like the monster carry where he literally like carries her fireman style, the woman fireman style.
Yeah.
He gets his arm cut off and then he uses the sunlight to grow it back, but it starts off as like a tiny hand. So she's like, take my tiny hand.
No, give me your normal one. No, it's not strong enough.
Take my small hand or you're gonna fall.
Well, the original Swamp Thing, the comic books are not campy at all. They are dark.
Yeah. This thing is so campy it becomes very undark very quick.
Yeah.
So first of all, the bad guy, the main villain is like the twerpiest guy ever.
Yeah.
So he's very not scary, and then in the end he becomes a monster that is basically a hairy version of the Star Trek lizard. And then at the climactic battle, he and Swamp Thing have a sword fight in the swamp.
It is, but I remember seeing little bits of this, but it's not a swamp because they can't film on swamp because it's water.
Yeah.
So this swamp is just like some woods.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they have a sword fight at the end. Yeah, so it's just a campy good time if you just want to have, maybe Tokabone and then watch the campiest movie of the 80s,
The Green.
The Green. So. All right, let's go back to 2023 when things made sense.
Whoa!
Here we are.
Wait. You want things to make sense and that are better, and you go back to 2023?
Okay, maybe not the best option, but
yeah.
Okay, but here we are back in 2023, and Swamp Thing is one of the other projects coming out for the DC slate.
Yeah.
So, if you want to check out the 1982 Wes Craven version, go check it out on YouTube. Which, by the way, I find it so funny that he starts off with Last House on the Left, redefines horror. Hills Have Eyes, redefines horror. Swamp Thing, fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, redefines horror.
It's like all the kids show up from like their high school days, and everyone's all brooding, and Hills Have Eyes, and then there's just Swamp Thing in the corner being campy.
Yep, it was. Yeah, so there's literally like slow motion boat flips like in the A-Team. It was
yeah. I could just imagine like a campy version of Swamp Thing in like a serious Justice League. He's like, is that a veggie burger?
Yeah, so we are at the end of our show. Do you have any?
We ran through quite a bit. We had a lot to catch up on.
I was hoping the show was going to be like 40 minutes. It was a pipe dream, let's face it. Okay, so thank you guys all for watching Area Nerdy 1. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yes.
If you have anything to add, like projects that you're looking forward to, any like who do you think would actually make a good Superman? We want to know. So throw it in the comments. Like and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and let us know what you think.
Yes, we have a very successful TikTok with, of course, our Multiverse of Madness matchup.
That's right.
Yes, so watch out for those, and of course vote, because these battles are up to you and up to me, because I'm right every single time.
That's right. So yeah, do you have anything else to add, Jarrett?
Well, just that go drink a Big Nerd Coffee Company. It's the greatest company in the world, and with the best coffee as well. And if you guys have any subjects you want us to cover, or you have any questions that want answered live on air, just message us on our Facebook or Instagram, and we can answer them here. Just leave your comment, question, or concern, and with your preferred name and pronouns, and we'll answer it.
That's right. And by the way, I found out that Bell's Country Coffee, where Big Nerd Coffee is located.
When exiting Area Nerdy 1, please observe all safety protocols.
Yes. So if you're into that, please show up.
Yes, exactly. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Check us out next month. At the end of next month, we will be airing another live episode. We will be putting this episode out in podcast form so you can listen to it at your leisure. But if you have any news articles or anything that you want us to cover, let us know.
And of course, watch these haunted trails, because those podcasts are going to be coming out every spooky day.
New episode dropping March 4th, where we explore Connecticut Hill, which is home to witches, ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs.
Really, the question is, what doesn't live there?
Or what doesn't live there?
People, because it's a wildlife sanctuary.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, this has been Jimmy.
This has been Jarrett.
And we are in Area Nerdy 1.
At the door. Was that cool at the end?
When exiting Area Nerdy 1, please observe all safety protocols. Please do not remove any Infinity Stones or Eldritch relics from the area. Please steer clear of Dinosaur, Rancor, and Rathalos holding pens. All Covenant ships must be signed out and fueled before departure. And please, have a nerdy day.